Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for coming in today. My name is Anand, and I will be presenting today's webinar. We're going to be talking about media packaging, delivery, and distribution with eMAM. These are very common workflows, and we've had a lot of interest about uh, some videos to deal with packaging, delivery, and distribution. And I hope today's webinar will be helpful for you all. Thank you for coming in today. We'll quickly get started. For any questions you may have, please use the questions widget. Any concerns can come in the chat. All right, so let's start with eMAM Media and Production Platform, where this slide would show the general workflow for a content's life cycle. So you start with acquiring content, organizing, and then, of course, once you've had the metadata, once you've tagged it and organized in different folders with permissions, the next period, now you're ready to get into the editing mode. So you can take these to different edit systems and create projects, rough cuts, and publish a file out after collaboration. It's really a deliver when you're ready to share the content out, then you are distributing it or sending it out for reviews, previews, etc. And then finally archiving. Now eMAM, of course, can support multiple models, which can be on-premise, cloud, or hybrid, and cater to a wide variety of workflows. I am sure all of you are familiar with the eMAM Director interface. It's a web-based browser interface, so you do not really have to download or install any application on your laptops or desktops. However, from the same browser, you get access to a wide variety of content. You can do a different kind of searches, which includes a federated search also now. This is a recent feature which we've added. The federated search would let you search from different other databases like 12 Labs, etc., and get you the results back into eMAM without you having to leave the eMAM interface ever. And not only in the eMAM UI, but we're also supporting the same searches in the extension panels which we offer in Adobe and different Creative Cloud applications. All right, so moving along. Once you are at the in the metadata, you can select or create multiple workflows to send the content out. Now, button fields, which were added to eMAM a few years ago, have been a very successful model for creating and triggering a lot of different complex workflows. All these workflows are defined by the super administrators, and from an operator level, you may or may not have a permission to trigger a workflow. Each of these workflows can be a combination of a variety of things. And as we would take a look in the next few slides, these workflows can be configured using the eMAM super admin interface, where you go in and you define what kind of a transcoder you're working with. So once you're in the super admin, you can select between multiple supported transcoder types. And that also, again, highlights the flexibility we offer at eMAM for our customers to choose whatever transcoder they want to work with, be it Telestream Vantage or Harmonic ProMedia Carbon or NetX Code or eTem or Capella. And the recent integration with MOG mCoder gives you a great flexibility to choose the one which is most suited to your workflows. And the configurations, again, are very simple. This screen in particular talks about the transcode workflow with eTem. So once you've selected eTem as a transcoder, you can literally bring in the job preset, which is essentially an XML, and put it right here. And then you can also enable eTem to stitch multiple files together. So if you are providing, say, in the same video, maybe the sensor certificate or the starting of the video and then the ending and middle different sections, and you're combining them at choice by selecting an eMAM, that is also possible. Once you've defined the preset, when you go to the UI, you select multiple of them and you say a trigger, for a delivery, system will go to the XML based on the naming convention, align them in a sequence. Now, this could also have your graphics configured to be overlaid. It could also have your subtitles, the lower thirds, the captions, even the subtitles to be burned on the screen. So very, very flexible and powerful workflow on the delivery side by using a simple XML, which is now very, very easy to get your hands on. And by replacing the variables, you're all set, to get multiple files or a single file delivered out to a destination folder. And not only that, you could actually define by using a lot of variables what your destination file name should be. At times, it's a requirement that you have to rename the file at delivery. So you could actually have that rename thing into a metadata, and then that metadata can be selected to be a destination file name. So it removes a lot of manual work and entries to make it a very standard delivery model. And again, the deliveries can be to a network location or to a S3 bucket even, or even an FTP server, or like a local storage with the clear defined path. And as you would notice, we have options to retain the entire folder structure. So let's say you are delivering a file which belongs to a parent folder and then a parent folder and so on. You can actually output the entire folder structure if that is a need, which may be the case with some edit systems or in some sort of library management requirements. And as I mentioned, you can also trigger notifications to certain set of people that this file has been delivered, kind of covering all the different aspects to send a file out and not be worried about the minor or the minute aspects. Now, very similarly, when you are dealing with newsroom systems, particularly for the news channels, and you're talking to S News or Avid iNews or Octopus and ENPS, you can actually create a placeholder asset in eMAM or have the newsroom system itself created over an API. And once the asset comes in, it can be selected and it can be linked by click of a button. Again, we are harnessing the power vested in the button, which at the back end has a certain workflow configured. But for an operator, by just a click of a button, now he or she is able to click a video, connect a video with a story in the newsroom. And then if you would go and click another button to deliver the same video along with the subtitle or the story slug can be delivered to the playout systems. So that brings upon a very homogeneous newsroom playout system, even though you may be using multiple different systems to get the best out of each. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. You can put those in the questions widget. Now, how do we set up all these? You would go to the backend super admin interface, which we just took a look at, wherein you go into define, the different parameters like a transcoder, and then the delivery profile. Now, delivery profiles can be very interesting because not only can you select the asset to be delivered, but you also have capability to include any file attachments, any associated graphics, or any associated text files which you may have. And similarly, if there's an EDL associated that can be delivered, or if you want to send out the entire metadata into an XML, that's also possible. Now, in some cases, you may want to selectively publish out the metadata. Let's say you are delivering this content to a particular website by a click of a button again. So if we look at the whole picture, when an operator will click a button at the back end, system knows which transcoder to use, what format or preset in the transcoder should be used to convert the file for this delivery purpose, which could be an OTT or a social media. And at that very time, the system also knows what kind of metadata has to be associated. And if this was like a custom metadata, then you could have a sidecar file. You could even pass on certain metadata fields as variables in the XML, and then you can rename the file at the destination, and you can have the destination defined as an S3 bucket or a network path or a FTP folder. That kind of brings in the whole world together for an operator by a simple click of a button to get the file delivered and the respective people notified. So moving right along, it's a closer look at the UI where you can use the sidecar files or even define a cable labs XML. Now, deliveries can be duplicate or transcoded or even partial. In some cases, you may choose to say, this is only a part of the video which we want to deliver. So that's also possible. Now, we've come across requirements where people want to use the storage profiles to have a proxy URL, which can be a CDN. So let's say you're running the system on premise or in cloud, but you're hosting your proxies in a cloud storage. And you want to utilize the CDN benefit so that people don't have to wait for streaming the content. So we could replace the proxy URLs with a CDN URL, and then the content gets streamed and previewed instantaneously with the CDN. Now the same pattern can also be used to deliver files. So if we are setting up a CDN delivery, we will require a watch folder workflow, and the CDN vendor, they generally use tools to pick up the file, and then they move it from the watch folder, and we get it delivered to the CDN watch folder. You must know that using a CDN, you also save a lot on the egress cost, and you kind of get it delivered much faster. Now this is a screen from the MOG Technologies transcoder where you can create workflows using eMAM. So if you have certain profiles defined, they can be called upon and configured right here through the MOG system by defining a wide variety of parameters on the output about how you want to transcode the file, if you have a destination defined, etc. And all of that is very seamlessly integrated with eMAM. So we're not really taking the content out to certain folders or hard drives or pen drives and sending it out or manually doing it. It's all in automated fashion. Content stays in your library, can be called upon by a transcoder or by an edit or by a workflow, and is through the workflow, it is appropriately delivered to the destination which has been appointed. More details on the MOG page, or you can go to the page and take a look at a lot of videos which exist there. Now we can also have options to send branded emails. Now let's say you have a certain piece of content or pieces of content, which could be images or documents or videos, which you want to share with a group of people or maybe to a social media or to a portal. You can select them and put them into the eBin, as you can see on the right-hand side widget. All the selected content has been taken to eBin. This could be done by a search filter and then drag and drop, or individually finding and dragging and dropping, or by saying add to eBin on the asset menu. Now, once you're there, you can select options to do eShare or eSend, wherein you can define until what date you want these assets to be previewable by the respective platform, and as to how many times this link should work. And then there are other options to do an autoplay or to do a subclip or etc. You can also have certain themes associated. And by virtue of these settings, you can have the content being sent out by a link or by an email. And for the user who is previewing the content, this is the kind of page a user will get. On the right-hand side, an entire list of all the assets shared, which could be, again, images or videos or audios. And in the left, the preview. If they are permitted to download, they will have option to download. Or if they're permitted to add comments, then they will be able to add comments. And all these comments come visible against each asset in the eMAM system. And the tracking system lets you keep a tab on how many people this was sent to and reviewed, etc. So the permissions or the reports can be found in the admin tools. You can, as you can see on the screen, is a report coming out of the eSend links or the even links about if it was previewed, how many times was it previewed, was it downloaded, was it commented, or was it forwarded. So, and these reports can be exported to Excel as well. So you don't really have to do V-transfers or create private channels on YouTube or Vimeo. It's a much simpler way. You select your asset, put it in an eBin, and boom, you send it out to be shared. And also, you can define till what date are these links going to be valid. So much more convenient and seamless ways to deal with the content. And similarly, when you are dealing with workflows inside different tools, you could also use the MOG tools to do a direct delivery or Premiere to select predefined setups and have them delivered right away. So we can publish content to social media, and this can be done using SNews, Avid iNews, Octopus, MOG, and Adobe as well. We're going to take a bit more detailed look at Adobe and MOG in the next few slides. Yeah. Okay, so focusing more on social media, and I believe that's the big demand today. Everybody wants to be popular on social media, and they want a simpler way to put the content up there without having to download projects on the machines and then individual assets, and then some point of time you lose track of what's where. So much more organized fashion. You can go to a Premiere Pro, export media, and while all of this media can be coming from eMAM library within Premiere, you're not really bothered about downloading that content individually. And once you're in there, you can go in and select the different destinations, which could be a media file delivery to a watch folder, or it could be one of the social media publish locations like a Facebook, TikTok, Vimeo, YouTube, or RD or X, or it could be an FTP. Now, the fun part is that we're not really moving out of Premiere, and yet we're accessing the whole eMAM library and sending the content out to the predefined location. Especially when you're dealing with YouTube, you can in the next few clicks go in and sign into YouTube with your credentials without sharing them with anybody. Select the channel where you're posting. You can also do multiple channels. Within the channel, you choose your playlist, and then you put your title, description, and all these settings are seamlessly passed on to YouTube, and your content is uploaded. You can also do your privacy settings like public, private, unlisted, and all of this is happening right in your favorite edit without even leaving it. And if you want to put some tags and custom thumbnails, that's also possible. And similarly, for other platforms as well, once you give the permissions like Facebook, you can do this publish right from the same edit system while your entire content library continues to be inside eMAM. And once you log in, voila, your desired content is out there on the desired social media platform. Setting can be adjusted as needed, even after uploading the content. And we're perhaps going to take a short look at a small video, which kind of walks us through the whole process. So moving right along. Okay, so where we kind of start, you have your entire eMAM library visible right inside the Premiere system. You have your projects which you made inside eMAM. You have your metadata, your markers, the entire asset library. You select one of those, import, bring to timeline, and you start, editing. Once you're ready, at that time you would, go in and select the file, export and media, And once you're in media, the next bit is you have options to now select where you want to upload. We will select YouTube in this case, and then go to more details. But before that, sign in and select your account, give permissions, then go in, and now immediately you can see your different channels where you want to publish the content. You can also do multiple channels, as I mentioned, and then you go in and select the playlist. Like this one would go to deliver and share media. You put a title and night sky time lapse, and you put a description on it. And then if you want to place some tags or have a custom thumbnail, you can do that as well. And you decide whether you want to make it private, public, unlisted. We're making it public, so afterwards you can go to our page and check this video out, which we're publishing during the webinar. We're trying to put in some tags, and then you go in and say where your thumbnail is coming from. I think we're good with the current frame, so I'm just going to select that. Or if you want to bring in an image from your machine, you can choose one of those, like select a file, bring an image in. And we also want to clean up our local machine because we're not keeping content on the local machine, but it's all in the eMAM system. So we can select the delete local file after upload. And once we're set, we go ahead and click export. And at this time, it will bring in the Adobe Media Encoder, convert the file, and before you know, it's it's being uploaded to YouTube. And it's in a few seconds you go to YouTube, and you can see the video you uploaded in your channel in the playlist without really having to create versions and then individually go upload, etc., etc. A much faster, much simpler way. So the night sky time lapse is right here with the description we added, and you guys can go to our YouTube channel and take a look on this nice videos. There are more training videos also which can be previewed. Now in a very similar fashion, we can do Facebook just like we dealt with YouTube. You could have this content on Facebook. So again, you are in Premiere, you create your project, and with content setting inside eMAM, you go and select Facebook this time. We're already signed in, so you don't have to sign in again. And then, select different parameters, select whether you want to upload both audio, video, etc. And once you do a publish, voila, in a few seconds, you have the video being posted on Facebook, and you're ready to get all the social media comments coming in, etc. So with that, we are kind of good to end our today's session. I hope you all find it useful. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out, email us, or you can go to the eMAM website, fill in the contact us form, or if there's a support issue, you can use a support widget and support tab and create a support request or a ticket. I hope this information would be helpful for you to use eMAM or with different tools and be able to more seamlessly publish to social media. Thank you so much. Signing off for today. Have a great day. Cheers.